Hey guys, Peter here to do an album review. Today I'm here to tell you about the latest from Helloween, out June 18th on Nuclear Blast. This album has 12 tracks, 65 minutes in length, and this is the band's 16th full-length studio album. They are an iconic German power metal band. Now, I don't think I'm out of bounds when I say that without Pumpkin's United Tour, there's no way this record would exist. You have to plant the seeds then in order to cultivate this album now. What can you expect from this record? Well, this is a greatest hits without being a greatest hits. What do I mean by that? They went back into the past, they went back into their history, and they picked different moments and times. They took song structures, song styles, soundscapes from those time periods, brought them together now into an album where they can all coexist and give you the full history of the band that really spans 16 records if you include this one. So I really like this idea, I really like this approach. Then you tie it all together by calling the album Helloween. I mean, all the right pieces are in the right place. All the stars are aligning in order for this to be one of their biggest albums, if not the biggest album to date. And it all starts with the way it's structured. I love this record from that perspective. It starts off with Out for the Glory, finishing with Skyfall. Two of the biggest, if not the biggest, most epic songs that this record has in store for the listener. The perfect bookends. This is not an album that starts off strong, finishes weak. It starts as strong as it finishes. It stays very balanced from that perspective, even though throughout, in between, you get songs that offer different images, different shades of Helloween, if you will. So it's an album that has great ebbs and flows, great individual song construction, great overall structure, very dynamic, very fluid, very engaging. An album that you don't have to work as a listener in order to really move from song to song and really get a feel for where you are. You just press play, you sit back, and let the record do the rest. This album is about the journey that takes you on, not necessarily the starting point or the finishing one. It's all about enjoying the moment, and that's what this record really gives to the listener. Now, once you get into the soundscape, the sound quality on this record is just beyond belief. It just has such a big sound, such a big volume, and regardless of what eras of Helloween you're going to get throughout the record, the sound quality, the approach, the big volume, the big presence is there on every single track. Even perhaps the ones that are more direct, that are not as layered, that are not as epic, the sound quality still outstanding, stays very balanced from beginning to end, and allows this record to be very robust in what it offers to the listeners. Within that soundscape, you're going to get two main pillars, the drums and guitars. I love the drum sound on this album. It feels very different to me. It feels more earthy, it feels more powerful, more well grounded within the overall experience of the record, really creating a bass line that's very wide, that gives them a lot of room to play with, allows the songs to be a lot bigger, a lot stronger, a lot more powerful. And like I said, even the tracks that don't have that epic moments to them, that feel perhaps a little bit more linear, a little bit more straight lined, they still have great grounding, they still have great presence, they still have a great heartbeat, and most often than not, that is really coming from the sound of the drums, how they're recorded and how they're inserted in all of these tracks. The other motor, the other pillar, the guitars. Incredible. I mean, what's there to say? It doesn't matter if you look at the leads, the solos, the melodies, everything surrounding the guitars on this album. There's perhaps just one word to describe it. It's epic. It's just out of this world. Just a lot of strength, a lot of power, a lot of melody, a lot of strength. But once again, giving you different perspectives depending on where you are within the record, where you are within the songs. It's an album that really moves in a lot of different directions as far as the guitars goes. The quality of approach, the quality of execution is always high, and that stays constant. What you're getting out of them in terms of the drive, in terms of the speed, in terms of the strength and power that they give to the songs, that changes from track to track depending on what the song calls for. Sometimes even changing within tracks themselves, using a little bit of acoustic guitars here and there in order to create a different nuance, in order to create a different atmosphere. But all of that really making the songs feel bigger, even though sometimes they are just a little bit more straightforward. On top of it all, you have the vocals. The best of all worlds, the best of all of Helloween has ever had to offer comes together in one solid record. There's not much else I can say but that. It's just an outstanding vocal performance from beginning all the way to the end. Is the cherry on top. Goosebumps. There's certain tracks, there's certain moments within certain songs of this record that you have goosebumps. That's the quality of all the pieces coming together, and then that cherry on top, those vocals just absolutely kill. They deliver every single time. This is one of their greatest achievements, one of their greatest albums to date. Definitely an iconic record. And if you're going to celebrate the history of the band, if you're going to celebrate everything that this band has done throughout time, the impact that they've had in the genre, in metal, with fans in general, this is the way to do it. This is the album that the fans wanted. This is what everybody has been waiting for a very long time, specifically perhaps since Pumpkins United World Tour. I love this album at every single turn. You're going to play it and you're going to play it over and over again. It has incredible playability from that perspective. Now, as far as favorite songs are concerned, I have to start off with Out for the Glory, the opening track. I mean, this song is only matched in its epicness by Skyfall at the end of the record. What an opening track. It builds up, it has like a built-in intro to it, so it builds you into it, and then when it's off to the races, it's off to the races. It doesn't stop. It's a song that has a lot of momentum, has a lot of power, both musically and vocally. The vocals are absolutely sick. I have to say it 3 times. That's how sick the vocals are on this opening track. It really sets the bar super high in terms of what your expectations will be from the rest of the album. That's how good this song is, musically and vocally. The combination of sound and vocals together just elevates this track, just makes it feel very epic. It's a very epic sounding track. The solo section is outstanding. It moves the song. It gives power to the track. It doesn't take anything away from what happened before, and it doesn't take anything away from what comes after. It doesn't offer a break. It keeps moving. It keeps this track rolling. I love what it has. It's pedal to the metal kind of style track. The solos continue to push that pedal to the metal, and overall the drums have great foundation on this track. They really hold this song together. They allow the song to be as powerful, as driven as it is. Next, Fear of the Fallen, another incredible driven song. It starts off acoustic. It has a little bit of a somber opening to it, but then it builds up, and when it ignites, it starts to move at a very nice pace. It's a song that feels like it turned itself from 0 all the way to 11 in a matter of seconds. I love that dynamic as far as this track is concerned. Once again, both musically and vocally really tight, really well constructed, really well delivered, always working side by side, pushing the song forward. The chorus is outstanding, very hooky, very catchy, melodic, and has this melodic power metal bliss to it, and that is not present just in the chorus, but perhaps it comes across better in that specific part of the song, but it's overall part of the track itself. Once again, the solo section of this song is just absolutely outstanding. It just pushes the track. It gives the song a little bit of life, a little bit of a heartbeat. It allows you to digest the song a little bit better, and then following that solo section, you go back to the way the song started off with that acoustic tempo, with a little bit more of a stripped down approach. It's a nice way to make the song feel a little bit more complete, bringing something that was there at the beginning, bringing it back into the track. It allows the song to be more robust, and it allows the song almost to go full circle and then close off in a very strong, powerful note. Both musically and vocally, the song just picks up another notch, when you thought it was almost impossible to do so. So really well constructed, really well delivered track all around. Last but not least, Mass Pollution, a different style of Helloween, a more rock and roll, a more hard rock approach to their sound, to their experience, and a song that still has a nice tempo, but it doesn't have that power metal drive. It drops down a notch, it takes down a notch a little bit, becomes a little bit more of a hard rock, pure rock and roll driven song, still with a very good chorus, really hooky, really catchy. It's just a different side of Helloween, and I thought they captured that side of the band really well in this song, bringing things down a little bit, still making the song feel pungent, still making the song feel strong and have strength all around, but definitely a more rock driven, less metal driven song, but still a track that really has a strong impact in the overall playability of the record and in the overall structure that this album has to offer. This is it. This is Helloween with Helloween, out June 18th on Nuclear Blast. Let me know your thoughts on the band, on the singles. Use the comment section below. I'll be reading those and getting back to you. Take care, guys.